Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, we're going to throw things all over the place. That's what we're going to do. No. We're going to use Awaken Tarot. Website on the back here is myryve.com. V as in Victor. Things I was dropping. There's a creative director here, Sally Willems, Willms. Feel free to check that out if you're interested. There's also this, so you can freeze frame and check that out if you're interested, if I can keep my fingers out of the way. Okay, for the supportive oracle cards, you are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back, rockpoolpublishing.com.au. A as in apple, U as an umbrella. Whoo! What do we have for Gemini? All of that? Why? Okay, all right, then it is. Then it is. Okay, so anyway, this is just the tarot cards. There's all this going on. Okay. It does seem like it's going to be a busy read. Okay, how do we start this? There's so much coming in at once. I think we're going to start with the current energy, kind of go backwards and come forwards. This might be a jump around energy. So, I also have cat. My cat Logan wants my attention. So they're Matt. He might be jumping into frame. Fair warning. Whatever the situation is, you're feeling like, currently you're feeling on the outside. Because you're on the outside, you've decided to not worry about it too much. I feel like this is a good way to handle this. If people don't want to tell you what's going on, if people don't want to include you in the thought process, then they can worry about how things work out. You don't have to. I feel like I feel a little bit emotionally disconnected from the situation. I don't think that's bad at this point. Things have led to this. Now, that's the current energy, and I almost feel like if other people are watching this, they might be like, well, that doesn't seem right. If you're like just not dealing with things and just not being a part of it. But if you're being left on the outside anyway, and people don't want to tell you what's going on, maybe they don't realize that you feel like you're left out. And if you're going to be left out, you're not going to invest in other people's outcomes. If they don't want to include you, then they can do it all themselves anyway. You're not here to be their pawn. I do feel like there's going to be cross-watchers on this one, trying to understand what's going on with Gemini, because I feel like people have noticed that you're just not really into the situation anymore, and they're not getting why. Because you feel like they're not telling you things. They're keeping you on the outside. They're not including you. So if they're not going to include you, well then why worry about it? I almost feel like a little offended, like people being bent out of shape, kind of like, you don't want to include me, and then I accept that, and then you're upset? Like, what? Like, you didn't want to include me, so I accepted that. Could be a work thing very easily. I feel like people miss the boat on that sometimes. Like, if you're in a work situation and people don't want to tell you what's happening or why this matters or why that matters, that's how people get invested in things. That's why people do a good job, because they see where it matters. And when they're just like, no, we want secrets, we don't want you to know. All right, then I don't really have that much of an attachment to what I'm doing. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I guess the same thing. The situation, this energy does not... It's been like this for a while. Maybe this is not how the situation started, but this is partly why you're feeling the way you're feeling. There's a control thing here, which is another reason why it could easily be a business situation. Doesn't have to be. This could be a family situation, could be a friend situation, technically. People like control. And I think of Gemini as being able to figure out the complicated puzzles. You can see things that other people can't see. Some people will ignore you or walk away from you or won't tell you things because you'll know what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do. It has nothing to do with psychic. It's just like the way they're acting, what they're choosing, you see where they're going. They might not see where they're going, but you do. You're like, obviously, you did this, you did that. You're in this attitude of you don't give a shit, so you're just picking them off one by one. I can see where that person's next in line because you have to go do that anyway, so you're going to probably tell them off. You just see where it's going. To you, it's like obvious. It has nothing to do with psychic. You might be psychic. I'm not saying you're not. But you pick up on things, and it's kind of like with the way they're acting, you can see where they're going. They don't like it. They don't like it if you know what they're doing before they know what they're doing. So I feel like they've kind of like left you alone. They've kind of disappeared from the situation. They've taken the Six of Swords. They don't like that you know things before they know things. And they just don't want to have anything to do with you for that reason. There's more to this. They don't believe that you're getting things honestly either, which is not fair. I feel like I come across this a lot with Gemini. People don't understand how smart you are. It usually takes somebody else who's as intelligent as you are to understand what you're talking about and keep up with the conversation. I feel like Geminis do it where they jump around in a conversation sometimes, or like you'll shorthand things without realizing it. Kind of like, I'm not going to tell you how to bake a bread why would I tell you how to bake a bread? I'll just refer to it as the loaf and making the loaf. Because you already know how to bake a bread. Why would I go through all the process? But some people don't realize what you're talking about, and you say the loaf and keep going, and they're like, what is Gemini talking about? Does it even make sense to anybody? Meanwhile, somebody else, like, for example, Libra, because that's another air sign, they're usually quite intelligent too, you refer to it as the loaf, and they're like, do you mean this with the loaf or that with the loaf? I mean this. Okay, good. And they can keep up with you. This person, they don't like that you know what's going on. They think the fact that you're figuring things out, you have underhanded means of figuring it out. It's not. It's just that you're smart and you figure out what they're doing. That's another level to this that seems to make a problem. They don't like it. Okay. This card fell out. So what is it? The Empress, half in, half out. It fell out on its side. Who is the Empress to you? Who is the Empress to Gemini? Because that came out while I was shuffling, and it was face down, so I just left it. Somebody who, they're very hardworking, but they kind of make the rules themselves. Okay. It's half in, half out. In relation to you, which you probably already realize this is okay. They are very hardworking. They put a lot of effort into what they want to happen. They also create the rules as they want. So this is somebody who kind of like, I know that the speed limit says 55 here, but I feel like I can go 70 and that's fine. And they like people like you around saying, well, if you're going to do that, be careful in this spot and this spot because there's a speed trap. And if you have this device and you, like over on these pieces of the road, you probably can get away with it. I'm not guaranteeing you anything, but you probably could get away with it. And they're like, okay, thanks. You know what I mean? They make their own rules to life, and they feel like they're justified in doing so. Whether they are or not, that's a whole other story all on its own. But they feel like they're justified making their own rules. If this is a business situation, it's kind of like, if we're going to be real fair about it, they're like, well, you can't do this, but I can because I said I can. If that makes sense. It's like, you can't park in the handicapped spot because that's wrong, but I can because I know who's coming and who's not, and there's 3 of them anyway, and they don't get always used, and I can use it because I decided I can. I'm not saying that what they're doing is right, but they feel very vindicated, like, well, I'm bringing in a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff in my van. I need to bring all this stuff in, so I can use this one spot for now because I've decided it's okay. You can't. You can't because I don't. No, you can't. But I can. They're that one. They're that one. Okay, this person, they heavily weigh into this situation, by the way. They may be more behind the scenes, but they're definitely there. This other person is the person who might be blocking you from understanding, which is ironic because they see themselves as a great communicator, but they might not be. These two energies together, this is ironic because the King of Swords usually is a great communicator. This is somebody who doesn't understand you, though, is what I keep getting, which doesn't make sense because you're an air sign, this is an air card. Normally, you would think that was true, but I'm also getting like this energy along with it. They don't take the time to consider what you know. They don't want to see you as a smart person. Therefore, they've decided you're not, and they don't really listen to you. There's an arrogance about this person, is what I'm getting. So they might be smart. I don't want to say that they're not smart, but they don't understand you. But I'm also getting is because they don't want to value you. They don't want to. So there's that with that. There's a lot of levels to this situation. You're emotionally detached from it, or detached. I think you're emotionally detached. How is this adding in? Because this is quite interesting. Ooh, wheel turns in your favor. Ace of Cups comes in. You got a whole new opportunity coming in. Whole new opportunity coming in. This is the best card in the deck, in my opinion. And then you get the Death card backing it up. With the Ace of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune, you've been disconnected from this situation for a while. Emotionally, you just haven't been there. So when something else shows up that you think you're going to like, why not go for it? I don't feel like there's any reason you would hold back. Unless the money's really good, but I have a feeling if the money's acceptable at the next situation, if this was a business situation, if the money's acceptable at the next situation and you think you're going to really be happy there you go. I do feel like you're leaving this situation. So there's levels to what's going on here. Okay, so you're going towards something new. We get that. It's not bad. There is a person here who likes you. That maybe they're not the most ethical person, is what I keep thinking. There's also somebody here who doesn't want to value you. So I think you're leaving this behind. This one you're leaving behind. The other person who's not the most ethical, this one, they're half in, half out. I'm not saying they're a bad person. They just have... They got some slippery traits. Can we say that? They got some slippery traits. That person, this is the one that fell out of the deck. This person, they might want to join you on this change. They don't want to lose you for some reason, and they want to follow where you're going. It's kind of shocking. I feel like you're not going to be expecting that. I know you can see a lot of angles. It's not like it's unheard of, or it's like, I don't think you're going to expect this. This person wants to go where you're going. They want to know where you're going, what's going on, what other possibilities are there. I feel like they want to follow where you're going. Truth is, they may not like this person either. This person who's a bit arrogant, they might not like that person either. They may act like they do. They may play it smart. They probably do play it smart. But they just seem to kind of like, you know, if you're going to go Gemini, maybe I can too. What's going on there? What's going on? Anything else there? Anything for me there? I understand you got what you want and you're going. I get that. You're secure. Anything for me there? Is there anything for me there? I feel like they want to go. There's fallout around this situation that I don't know what's going on. It's very much connected to this other person. It's like a freaking tornado. The situation will be fine without you and this person if they decide to go, because I feel like they want to. But the tower's hitting, people having a fit. I don't feel like this is very fun, whatever's going on with that. The Knight of Wands pops in, and there's problems. The tower comes in. There could be some legal issues coming in, going out. Don't get too chummy with this person. Keep it more on the down low. Like if you're helping them out and you're telling them what you know, keep it private. And tell them that you want to keep it private. The fact that they're a little slippery, I don't think they're going to have a problem with that. You want to keep your connection with this person, if they're deciding to leave too, very private. Even if you end up at the same spot, in the sense of like maybe you're going to a different company, you're going to be in the same unit or whatever, keep it private. Keep it as private as you can. Because there's a lot of mess going on around this person. A lot of mess. That'll solve itself. I don't see you having to be pulled into it if you keep a safe distance. Keep an arm's be nice to this person, because it seems like they're favorable towards you. In the very beginning, just tell them. I just want to keep it, can we keep this private just between us that I'm telling you? I'll tell you what you want to know, I don't care. But can we just keep it private that you're going to do this? I feel like they're fine with that. This person's probably really good at keeping secrets too, by the way. To some extent. If you keep it more on the down low, I don't feel like it doesn't have to get all that super messy for you. If it's more out there, it might get messy for you. Temporarily, it seems like it's a very short window, maybe just 2-3 weeks, but still, it's something you really don't need and probably don't even want. So just to keep your head in that part. Because I feel like this person's coming with you, whoever this person is. The World comes in with the Temperance card. There's a lot of good coming in. There's going to be a lot of challenges as well with this next situation you're going into. Believe it or not, this person will look out for you because they feel like you know things and you can help them. I would continue to keep it a private connection if you can. As long as they feel like you keep feeding them information, they will always look out for you because they feel like you see things way before they see them. You know things that might be plain sight. They'd be out there in plain sight, but you see it and they don't. They very much value you because they feel like you're very, very helpful. Again, remember, they make their own rules. They're a little slippery with their morals. A little slippery. But there's a lot of prosperity here. I would keep it on the private side if you can. A lot of prosperity with this person. Especially because I don't feel... the Ace of Pentacles is coming in. Your opinion, or not your opinion, the way people view you is going to get locked in pretty early. There's a lot of good things going on here. I don't think there's any bad cards. People are going to be paying attention. It's more about what they see rather than what they know. I don't know what that means. If they see you hanging out with this person, I feel like they're going to get that reputation for being very slippery with morals. There's a lot of good going on here. If people don't realize you're connected, it just goes better for you. And people think better of you, and you get more out of it. You want to keep that integrity. I'm getting help this person move forward. Help them come where you are. They will look out for you. Keep it as private as possible, as private as you can. Which doesn't mean you can't talk to them at work, or if this is a work thing and they go where you're going. You can talk to them. Just don't make it look too chummy. Don't hang out with them for lunch. Don't drive in with them. You know what I mean? They'll understand. As long as you keep information coming to them, they'll be fine. Just don't get overly chummy. Don't go to lunch. Don't constantly talk to them every day at the same time. If they go for coffee, you go for coffee. Don't do that. That type of thing. You can still talk to them, but just make it look more casual than more together. I feel like this person is going to keep you in the loop. I also feel like this person will text you probably daily, which is fine. They're okay with keeping it more at a distance publicly. I feel like they like that mystery, so it's fine. I don't think they'll have a problem with that. I feel like that's just the advice. Keep it more on the down low. You'll be a lot happier in the long run. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.